Hi guys, and welcome to the Awakening Energy. I'm Skeed. Today we're going to be talking about the pineal gland. Now we've all heard on social media that we have to decalcify our pineal gland for it to be able to work and all that stuff, right? You know this, and the fluoride in our water and etc. etc. Okay, well, first of all, fluoride in the water. Where you live, is there actually fluoride in your water? Because, for example, in Europe, most places haven't had fluoride in the water for 30, 40 years. In the States, some places do have fluoride in their water. There are a couple of tiny places in Europe as well. But in the majority of the world, that isn't a factor. It doesn't happen. Oh, but there's fluoride in our toothpaste. Okay, that's true. But first of all, you're not swallowing that fluoride. And second of all, if you're worried about that, you can buy toothpaste without fluoride, or you can even make your own toothpaste. Now, I have a video somewhere on my Skeed Magic channel that talks about I make my own toothpaste. I have for years. It's very easy to do. So that eradicates the whole problem of fluoride. But what happens if I've been using fluoride? Okay. What happens if you've been using it? First of all, this whole thing of decalcifying your pineal gland because it's all stuck and doesn't work type of thing anymore. Okay. Have you read the science on it, or have you just believed social media? Because I encourage you to go read the science and the study they did around it, because it's very interesting, and if you actually go and do the research, you might find there's not quite as much to worry about as you thought. Okay, but your pineal gland, how do I keep it active and awake and open? And okay, the pineal gland, what does it do? Pineal gland produces serotonin. Serotonin gets then changed, if we're reading the science, gets changed into melatonin into oxytocin, etc., etc., etc. So, okay, if the pineal gland creates melatonin to help us fall asleep, do you fall asleep? Can you sleep? If you can, well, your pineal gland's working, isn't it? Oxytocin, can you have sensations of love and appreciation of things? Well, once again, your pineal gland's probably working, right? Serotonin, can you get to a state of relaxation and calm? Can you meditate? And I'm not saying because you're monkey minding your dopamine, but can you sort of chill and have, well, your body's producing serotonin, and one of the main places your body produces that is in your pineal gland. So please don't believe everything that you hear. I'm not sure whether my microphone's on. I'm just going to check. Sorry. Yes, it's on. Don't believe everything you hear on social media. Go read the science. Now, if you read the science, if you have taken antidepressant medication, that could have affected your pineal gland. If you've taken it for many years, it could. I'm not making any disclaimers here. I'm saying it's possible. Go read the science, do your own research. That's what I'm saying. It could have affected it, and it could have affected it. You could have done some permanent damage. Go read the science on it. Don't take my word for it. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Go check it out. But in most cases, it's actually not a problem, because the social media hype is exactly that. You know, you get social media hype. Well, you know, there was the social media hype on crypto. There's now the social media hype on artificial intelligence. Before, there was the social media hype on pineal gland calcification that was based off what? Did they actually do their research? The scientific research? Well, let's see. Go do the research. Look it up. Go onto the internet, find the research, find what happened, what the study was, how many human brains have actually been opened and seen that it was all calcified and things. Because if you look at science, yes, your pineal gland does have tiny crystals in it. And it's the rubbing together of those crystals which creates currents, which creates the hormones. So every time I see those things and, we have to decalcify our pineal gland and stuff, it's like, can you sleep? Okay, then it works to a certain extent. Now, I'm not saying, teenagers don't find it difficult to sleep. People who are highly stressed don't find it harder to sleep. And this is where the first thing that we have to lead to, if you have a high stress life, if you're a teen with high hormones, then yes, a good healthy diet, lots of exercise, meditation practices are going to help your brain, your body in general work better, and your pineal gland will work better. We all know foods that look similar to certain organs, there's a reason for it, and hence they can help. So if you're worried about your pineal gland, then, eat lots of pine nuts, walnuts, things that look like a pine cone or a brain. Are there other things we can do to help activate our pineal glands and stimulate it? Yes, breath work. I am going to be in the course that I'm doing about awakening your Kundalini. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos on breathwork and how to do it. If you can't wait for them, go and find any DMT breathwork video on YouTube, because if it's a DMT is formed in, yes, you guessed it, the pineal gland. So any breath work that is working to stimulate DMT is stimulating your pineal gland. So if you can't wait for me, go and find them. There are loads of them out there. And get working on it. It's not the problem that social media has created about it. Now, meditation and stimulation in a very simple way, I am going to discuss in this video. Well, not the meditation part, because I've already got a video on learn how to meditate. Go watch that video. But one of the best things we can do to stimulate our pineal gland is to simply become aware of it and start feeling it. So where is the pineal gland? Now, if you want maps of it and things and you don't know, if you're watching this video, chances are you do know where it is. It's located right in the center of your brain. It's the thing that looks like an eye. The eye of Osiris. Yeah, we've all seen videos about it. But if you're not sure, use a web browser, look it up, use these artificial intelligence chats, type in the question, where can I find my pineal gland? What is it for? What hormones are producing it? Just do a bit of basic research about it. But what we're going to do, the exercise I want to give you for your pineal gland today is, first of all, you do the basic meditation that is in the other video. Stop the monkey mind. And then what we're going to do, very, very simply, is we're going to pay attention to the area of our pineal gland. So you're going to sit, you're going to meditate. Okay, I've got my legs crossed. It's better not to have your legs crossed when you do this. You can be sitting, you can be lying down, whatever. If you do this and you activate it in a relaxed way, calm way, it can actually help you fall asleep. If you push lots of energy into it, it can actually energize you. So depending on whether you want a relaxed, energetic state with serotonin or melatonin to help you fall asleep, it sort of depends on how you're making your body feel. So do I want to be relaxed and awake, like I've just had a nice hot shower, or been in an ice bath, or do I want I want to fall asleep, so I'm going to sort of calm my body down, calm my mind down, calm my voice down, calm my breathing down, and concentrate on the area. Depending on how you focus on it is what you're going to get out of it. And so we're going to clear our mind using the meditation technique, and then we're just going to literally the center of your brain in here, your ears, draw up. You can draw across. Okay, that's sort of my center point. Now I come down to sort of my ear level. It's in there. And just focus your attention. It might take a little bit of practice. That's absolutely fine. When I've got my eyes closed to try and draw the attention in there. Closing your eyes is a good way to do it. And you just slowly, so bring your attention to the whole of your head, feel your head, and then just bring in the attention. Draw it into the center of your brain. Just bring your awareness to the center of the brain, just above that little bump in the roof of your mouth. And it can help, if you want, with your tongue. You find that little bump in your mouth, and then right behind it, there's a little soft patch. Now, for some people, this might cause a gag reaction. If it does, just practice it. The gag reaction will go. But you can just get the tip of your tongue and just press it where that bump is, just behind where it just starts to go soft. Press with the tip of your tongue there, and that can really, really help you. And that actually forms a meridian connection to the pineal gland. There is in Neigong, that is one of the systems that you work. But you don't have to press that. And even just touching just in front just behind your front teeth, pressing your tongue there, can also help. It's a different circuit. It's not quite as powerful, but that can help. Just press that. That can help you calm down. And as I said, it's just spend 5-10 minutes focusing your awareness on the center there. And if you do this over time, and it can take quite a while to do, that's absolutely fine. But in yogic practices, I'm not talking about calisthenia in a yoga studio, I'm talking about yogic practices, proper yogic practices. They talk about when you open your pineal gland, you see the 1,000-petal lotus, etc., etc. In Neigong, they'll talk about you start seeing a white light, then it becomes a golden light. But it's not quite sort of in your eyes. And this is when your pineal gland is being stimulated. And you can start it literally in your eyes with them closed. If you're in pitch blackness, you can start getting flashes of light within your eyes. There's all signs that stuff is going on in your brain. You are activating things in your brain. One of the things you'll be activating is your pineal gland. So, pineal gland, sorry. So, just sit, focus, the meditation. If you've seen the other exercises in my series of your Kundalini awakening and you're doing the chi balls, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go find that video, check out that playlist. And you can even do the pranic energy stimulation, the chi energy stimulation between your palms, and you can bring it either side of your head and to help you focus on that center point, and it will help with the stimulation of the pineal gland as well. Don't believe all the social media hype. Go do your research. Look up the scientific studies of all this calcification stuff. Understand if you can fall asleep, then it's activated. Everything I've explained previously, I don't need to repeat myself. And just sit there 5-10 minutes in the morning, in the evening, do it throughout the day, do it for 2 hours if you want. There isn't one hard and fast way to do this stuff. There isn't a right way, there isn't a wrong way. Anyone who tells you There are a lot of people that I like watching on YouTube and social media. They're very helpful. And a lot of them you find are very dualistic in the way they talk. Well, you have to do this. This is the right way. This is the wrong way. Well, you actually find there isn't a right way and a wrong way to do things. There might be a right way for you, but there isn't this is right and this is wrong. When you start to live in a non-dualistic idea that there is no dualism, there's always more than two of everything. There's a spectrum of everything. Therefore, what might be the right way for one person might not be the right way for another person. They have to do something slightly differently. Or you might want to combine two different techniques where, someone who's stuck in one technique say, this is the way. And you might actually, doing your research, say, well, I like this idea. This feels good with me, but I don't quite agree with this bit. But I know this other technique. So I've got this, for example, this yogic technique here, and then I've got this qigong technique here. And I'm going to experiment with them and mix them. And wow, for me, that works really well. There isn't one way to do things. We don't live in a dualistic world. We are programmed dualistically from birth. Yes, no, right, wrong. But this isn't the flow of the universe. There isn't a one and a two, and that's it in the universe. There's flow, there's balance, there's change, constant change. And you might even find one exercise starts working for you and then it stops working for you because you're growing, because you're changing, because you're flowing, and you need to rebalance somewhere else. Like I said, for example, I said to you, just focus your awareness. It might not happen for you that way. Try it with the energy. It might help you. It might not happen that way. Use the tongue. It might work for you. You might find it just makes you gag and you can't use it, and that's fine. Don't use it. Find what works for you. There isn't one right way and one wrong way. Any guru, teacher, master, person who explains things and say, this is the way, this is definitely what it is. I'm going to give you the answer to out there. Well, yeah, okay, that means they're working in dualistic terms. They might claim to be non-dualistic, but if they're saying this is definitely it, well, either they know something that no one else knows, or they've chosen to believe not something, someone who's explained it. Now, yes, they could have had some deep experience and it works for them. Brilliant. That doesn't mean to say it's going to work for you. Ebb and flow, find the balance. It's non-dual. It's go with it. It's empty mind. Put your attention. Try different exercises. Maybe the exercises I've given you in this video don't work for you. Keep doing your research. There are many, many techniques out there. Find the one that works for you. It's not dualistic. It's not, there's one way. There are many ways. Follow the channel, comment, like, subscribe. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the meditation, look on my channel. You'll find that's a very simple, easy way to learn to meditate, even for the people who have tried and failed. It's so simple. Again, it might not work for you. That's absolutely fine. That's not the way. But it is a very basic, simple way for you to get started. Give it patience. Perhaps it'll work for you. Then, as I said, to awaken the pranic energy, if you want to try that, that takes work. It takes a process. The pineal gland is one of the chakra areas, so you will probably doing this if you're following the process. That's great too. But if you want to jump ahead, I just needed to talk about the pineal gland because there's so much nonsense out there. Give it a go. See what happens. Comment on your experiences after you've tried it. Comment on the video. Come back and leave a comment whether it worked, whether it didn't work, whether you want more information about it, whether you whether you have topics that you want me to talk about, put all that there, because if there are certain things you want me to talk about, I will. There's another one that I would like to make a video about twin flames. Again, social media, twin flame, my word, such a kerfuffle there that's, again, doing the research, it's just misinterpretations of misinterpretations, going to old texts. Again, when I make that video, you might totally disagree with me. Well, that's absolutely fine. I'm just basing the understanding on research and going back to original translations and stuff like that, but that'll be another video. Anyway, do these exercises for the pineal gland, see what you find. If you're worried about fluoride in the water, go check to see if there's actually fluoride in your water, because high chances are there aren't in the majority of places you live in the planet. If you're worried about fluoride in your toothpaste, change toothpaste. If you've taken antidepressants and you do have problems, then do some more research. I'm not going to go into that in depth because, well, we're talking about, big pharmaceutical companies. I'm not going to be messing with them. Contact them to see how you can fix it. If it's done some damage, go and get some testing done, see if it's been damaged. Go and ask them for answers to see how you can fix it without taking another pill, of course. Okay. See you in another video.